Distinguished President of the Socialist Republic of Viet Nam, His Excellency Mr. Nguyen Minh Triet, to take the floor.
Thưa ngài Chủ tịch Hội đồng Bảo an,
Mr. President,
thưa ngài Tổng thư ký Liên Hiệp Quốc,
Mr. Secretary General,
Việt Nam hoan nghênh ngài Barack Obama.
Vietnam welcomes the initiative taken by President Barack Obama of the United States, President of the Security Council in September 2009, to convene this summit at the Security Council on nuclear non-proliferation and nuclear disarmament. The 20th century saw the birth of nuclear weapons and their deadly devastation. The century also witnessed an all-round nuclear arms race that not only increased tension in international life and wasted resources that could have otherwise been used for development, but also posed to the entire world an unprecedented danger of extermination. It was also the 20th century that witnessed a world movement with broad participation of governments, organizations, and individuals, demanding the elimination of nuclear weapons, opposing nuclear war for the preservation of peace. Invented by man, but right since its birth, nuclear weapons have always been a threat to mankind itself and strongly rejected. Yet, there still exists a nuclear stockpile capable of destroying the entire world many times over. The situation of proliferation of nuclear weapons is undergoing new and complex developments. The risk of nuclear weapons falling into the hands of terrorist groups is increasing. Over the past decades, the world's military spending has increased by 45%, while expenditures for nuclear armament has been many times greater than that for Millennium Development Goals, which we set to prevent, mitigate, among others, hunger, degradation of environment, adverse climate change, pandemics affecting the lives of billions of human beings. Vietnam supports all initiatives and proposals of the international community to this end, including those contained in the position paper of the non-allied movement circulated for the summit and the 5-point proposal of the United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. I would like to take this opportunity to emphasize the following. Firstly, the prevention of nuclear war and nuclear disarmament leading to the total elimination of nuclear weapons continue to be the earnest aspiration and an urgent demand of mankind. Nuclear weapon states, military alliances, those countries with major military capabilities bear primary responsibilities. Vietnam shares the international community's desire for bilateral, multilateral, and multilateral plans for early substantial reduction of nuclear stockpiles and for the assurance of security for non-nuclear weapon states against the use and threat the use of nuclear weapons. We call for an early commencement of negotiations on international nuclear disarmament agreements in which those countries having the largest nuclear arsenals must take a leading role in nuclear disarmament, because this is an urgent task to ensure the world peace. Secondly, effectiveness of the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, including the strengthening of the authority of the International Atomic Energy Agency, must be enhanced. This agency is mandated to prevent the risk of proliferation of nuclear weapons and to ensure nuclear safety and security, as well as impartiality and equality among all states in accordance with international law. The agreements on nuclear weapon-free zones reflect the desire of states for and the right to use the reduction of the risk of nuclear war and constitute contribution to the non-proliferation nuclear weapons. On this occasion, Vietnam calls for the state to support the protocol to the Treaty on the Southeast Asia Nuclear Weapon-Free Zone, entered into force in 1997. Thirdly, the promotion of the use of nuclear energy for peaceful purposes should constitute a solid pillar of nuclear non-proliferation regime. In this connection, Vietnam proposes that International Conference on the Use of Nuclear Energy for Peaceful Purposes be convened for the exchange on the issues such as international coordination measures to support the development of policies, science, technology, and regulations aimed at nuclear safety and security. It is the consistent policy of Vietnam to oppose war and promote disarmament for the protection of peace. This policy reflects the earnest desire the Vietnamese people who have always harbored peace but have suffered great losses from wars, and who therefore desire peace not only for themselves but for mankind. Vietnam is a party to all international treaties on prohibition of weapons of mass destruction and is highly appreciated for the serious implementation of its commitments, including those under the Security Council resolutions. Men who invented nuclear weapons must bear the responsibility of eliminating them so that we can live in a peaceful world. Vietnam pledges to contribute its utmost to our common efforts to achieve this noble objective. Thank you very much.
I thank His Excellency President Min Triet for his statement.